This is Brad Matheny. Today is the 12th of May, Monday. We finally broke our 100-degree heat out here. And if you don't know, I sprained my ankle last week, but I'm doing a lot better. Boy, try not to step in any weird holes as you're walking around at night. Can be really dangerous. But look, we are in a very kind of unique breakaway pattern. I wanted to point out that, over the last couple of weeks, the SPY cycle pattern has been bullish. You can see here bullish long-term trending, explosive, bullish. Daily bias is still negative. I'm going to check on that. It may change today on the SPY because we'll have this gap up. And weekly bias is still bullish. So, even though my interpretation of the excess phase peak patterns and other market setup, I've been leading you to believe that, we're going to get a rollover. We're going to get a rollover. I still believe that it would have been the likely case had we not had this intervention by Trump with the China deal and the this and the that, and most recently an executive order supposedly limiting medical drug prices. I mean, what's happening is it's a very unique scenario. This is a 1 hour chart. I had drawn this in a video to you guys last week and had highlighted this rotation on an individual basis, showing you how the excess phase peak patterns can play out in any time frame, in any interval. And this is a perfect example right now of invalidation. This rally phase right on up, pretty much from right here, where we got above this level, breaking the new highs, continuing through this move higher, up into now this invalidation right up here above this 58.33 level roughly. This is complete invalidation of that breakdown move, okay? We're pushing higher. We're in a bullish trend, just like I showed you back over here. This is the current one. Today's move is a rally in counter trend mode, which would essentially be a slight pullback potentially today. But we are in bullish trending, and we are rolling higher. So be aware that today's move would likely be some sort of a roll, a rally in counter trend mode. This was yesterday on the ES overnight. Here's yesterday and overnight. And what we're looking at now is some sort of a roll type of a pattern. That's what I believe is very likely to happen. A rally in counter trend would suggest a downward move. We'll see how it plays out. And again, same thing with the QQQ or the NASDAQ. I've been warning about all these breakdown patterns, and I want to tell you that the patterns themselves, well, nothing I do is 100% accurate, okay? So first off, no, I don't believe anybody's 100% accurate. I've said it many times, but we had our real breakaway here. You can see when we got above this level, we got into a new breakaway, and now today we're at 507, trading up in this area now. That's where we're currently trading in pre-market, and this breakaway above this level right here really indicates another invalidation. Now, my data still shows that the U.S. market is weaker. My data shows that the U.S. market is struggling a bit. The capital is moving away from U.S. capital. In other words, that money is moving away from the U.S. stock market. Probably has been moving away last week with this consolidation, moving into foreign assets, weakening. Traders are selling into this rally, trying to weaken positions. This move, I believe, is still news-driven, not fundamentally economic, meaning I don't see any real growth yet in the economy. I think this is all hype and news-driven. But again, you cannot argue with the fact that we've broken above this level, rallied, broken above this level, rallied. We have clearly invalidated, and that's something I need you guys to realize. And I am not going to change from that. We have had two very clear invalidations to the upside. We are technically bullish. We are bullish here, bullish look here. Wait. There we go. We are bullish in explosive trending, in bullish short-term trending, and in bullish biasing trend. Okay, so we're looking at a very solid bullish trending phase here in breakaway mode because of this invalidation right over here. This invalidation of these two resistance levels, we've now broken up into that clear trending up into this area, trying to see how high we can go here. The next stage is, like I said, if we do not invalidate here, meaning breach back downward, then we're going to be trying to take out new all-time highs. And again, that's kind of what I was looking for, is this real invalidation to take place to get us above this resistance channel, which we had failed to do before. Once we got above that resistance, then we're cleared to the upside, at least potentially up into this area here. 535, 536, 537 on the QQQ. And that would be, again, a move up into this 612. Well, potentially up into this high area here. It's 597. But again, this is a breakaway rally. We are bullish. There is no reason why we should be, at this point, expecting a breakdown now that we've had that breakaway. I can, argue that I think that we're going to roll down, or I think that we're going to do whatever. But the reality here, guys, is we've broken away to the upside. And until we get that rejection, today we're at 581, 582 almost on the SPY this morning. Huge rally, up 3% already. We are in a counter trend move. We're looking at a potential downward, slightly downward trend today, I would think. Maybe rejecting up here, but remember, over the last couple of weeks, I've been warning you that I thought that we would break down if these tariff pressures stayed in place. That was my original analysis, is that we would roll downward. It has not happened yet. Until that happens, or if that happens, great. Maybe I will be, validated in my analysis. We'll see. But until that happens, right now we've got a Trump bump taking place. And we've literally got a rally in the markets happening that is too big to ignore. So be aware that we are looking at a very large rally phase, breaking higher. These are the little excess phase peak patterns that rolled around over here. And there's kind of our breakout. Sorry, I got the sniffles. When you go from 104 to 70, so right now 60 to 59, 60 degrees outside, it's a big difference. California does that every now and then, and it can really cause havoc on your system. But we'll deal with it. We're okay. Okay, I'll leave that. Well, I'll get rid of that. Get rid of this. So we'll see now how we play out. We're trading up in this 581 area here. So right up in this area on the SPY right now. It's a big move, guys. It's a big breakout, a big invalidation. The reality is the markets want to go higher. And I can continue to argue that, oh, I think it's going to go down, but I'm just going to be misleading you. And like I said, follow the patterns. My analysis is, I try my best to give you the analysis that I think is most relevant, but, I'm not 100%. So up until we had this breakdown, literally up until we got above this heavy blue level, I'll make it I get rid of it because we have this level here. Up until we got rid of this level, I'll make it dark red right there. Until we got above that level, we were still at a very high risk of a breakdown. We are now above it. Fibonacci price theory and really the excess phase peak pattern suggests this is an invalidation and a breakaway. And we are now in bullish trending. So, think of it like this. We are now in bullish trending. We've been in bullish trending back here, back at this breakaway. And we'd really been from this breakaway here, bullish trending as well, right over in this area. So we have been pushing higher, and I had been warning that I thought that we would eventually roll higher. And you can see this flagging pattern right here. This flagging upward is an upward pattern. I want you guys to be aware that this flagging is an upward trend. Okay? That's what it is. This type of flagging is an upward trend. This is a very big excess phase peak pattern setting up. Okay, so we're looking at this flagging continuing to be bullish upward until it potentially rolls, if it rolls downward. And if it rolls downward, we shall see. But if it rolls downward, we will get that breakdown that I expect. If it doesn't, it could continue to run all the way up here, all the way up into close to this previous low before attempting to break downward. So you can see why I expected this downward activity, why I expected it to happen down in this area. I really did believe that we were going to get a breakdown into this area, which didn't happen. I also thought when that didn't happen that we would get a roll over in this area, which didn't happen. And now we're up into this area, pushing higher. And I'm going to warn you that this breakdown, if this flag does end at some point, wherever it is, up in this flagging formation, at some point, it will potentially break downward. We just have to wait for it. But trying to get short while we're in this upper flag can be rather depressing because you're trying to trade against the market. I took a couple trades. Looks like I took 2 losses on Friday, minor, $1,300. And I'm going to probably take another loss at the end of this week. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, this gap higher with a pullback potentially in this counter trending mode right here could very well be the start of something. But, like I said, guys, we are invalidating. We are bullish. We are bullish, bullish, bullish. Don't get this wrong. I'm not trying to mislead you right now. We are bullish. So I'm going to just tell you that we are bullish and, do not, as far as my idea that the markets are going to break down, this is what I believe is likely based on this excess phase peak flagging. Okay, this is what I think is coming in the future. But obviously right now we are bullish. You should technically be buying into this market. Now I will tell you that today, counter trend right here doesn't mean that you should probably be buying. You should be watching and looking for a low. But generally we're in an uptrend, and generally this market's going to continue to higher based on this rolling pattern. And I'll draw it again. Coming down, we've got this excess phase peak pattern back here, rolling all the way, rolling all the way up, coming down, flagging out, and flagging out. So understand that that's the big broad flag. The big broad excess phase peak pattern setting up right now. And as long as we stay in this flagging, this is bullish. We should be expecting upward trending. So this is really a bullish phase of the market leading to a potential bearish breakdown in some shape or form out here in the near future, which could be coming, or we could just continue to move higher up through invalidation up here. Okay, now let's go to gold and silver. Gold is breaking down, silver is breaking down on this news, this big rally. It's likely, and again, gold and silver, I'll go out to a 4-hour chart. It's likely that this news of the China trade deal will disrupt gold a little bit. We are double bottoming. I still do believe that gold is very capable of a very strong rally. And I'm holding on to my gold positions, knowing that I think that the world is going to be hedging risk. That's part of the reason why I think capital is moving away from U.S. markets. I think that the capital realized the strength of the U.S. markets through Q1 is over, and the disruption in the global markets means that the capital must seek opportunity, which it's actively doing, out into global markets and hedge instruments, which is why Bitcoin has been rallying. So I think hedging gold and silver still to the upside is a very smart move. I really do. So gold and silver cycle patterns are gap stall, revert flush. We are likely going to get that gap down here at the opening over the weekend. We are likely going to get that stall, revert flush, which to me would mean that we have a chance at a gap stall pattern reverting back up into this area. Same thing here, gap stall pattern reverting back up. That's what I interpret it as. Remember, that is my interpretation. So you can interpret this all you want. We are in bullish accumulation. As of last Friday, bullish accumulation means that we are starting to build into a channeling accumulation phase, potentially moving higher. Same thing here with silver. We are building into a moderate accumulation phase, potentially attempting to move higher. And then lastly, we will go back to Bitcoin. And I'll go to my watch list, Bitcoin. You can see Bitcoin has really rallied here. Again, invalidating, pretty much right here on a rally phase up and out. And again, invalidating, looks like possibly, let's see, this is hourly. Yeah, really right here was the invalidation. And now we're pushing higher. You can see that we got above this high. Remember, each one of these highs, these unique and standout highs, represent some form of resistance related to Fibonacci price theory. So we have this invalidation down here, which occurred right here. And then we have that breakaway right there, which invalidated up to the upside. We're breaking above highs here. That's what happened here. We broke above this high right here. And that's this high right across here. Then we rallied up, came across this high, broke above it right there. Every single one of these is essentially invalidation. a market that is rallying to the upside. So we are currently in this upside cycle trend. You can see we rolled down into consolidation. And what we're doing here also, folks, is that we are setting up that rolling excess phase peak pattern. Just like this. In a bullish cycle phase, started through this invalidation right here, rolling upward. And if we fail up in this area, then at some point we may get that breakdown. May. So we'll see how it plays out. Oh, 20 minutes. Okay, guys, got to end the video here. Happy Monday. Let's go get some today. And thank you, everybody, for your support. My brother should be coming home today or tomorrow. They're keeping him. He had an infection in the last time in his knee doing this surgery. So they are keeping him a little longer, making sure to keep him up on antibiotics. He's looking forward to coming home. I mean, he's doing fine right now. It's painful. He's having trouble walking on it, but that's the way it is. This should hopefully be done after he gets done with this. So saying prayers, everything goes good, and he comes home today or tomorrow. Okay, guys, talk to you later. Bye.